Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Much appreciated. So today we are talking about something that is near and dear to my heart, one of my favorite beard products in the game. We're going to spend a little bit of time to talk about whipped butter, show you guys a few companies who offer it, and let you know why I do enjoy it so much. Before we get into that, again, thank you for being here. This is Beer Talk with Kyle and Joe. I'm Kyle.
And what is going on, guys? My name is Joe.
And before we get into it, guys, hang tight. We're going to go ahead and play this intro. We'll be right back. Welcome back from the intro, everyone. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. So, what is whip butter? First of all, Joe and I have never made beard products before, probably never will. So we're certainly not an expert on making it. But the big difference is typically in whip butter, well, not typically, almost always, you don't use any sort of wax in a whip butter. And then it's more of a process, more of a two or three stage process. And then instead of just pouring the butter and letting it dry or putting it in the fridge, however it's done, it will literally be whipped. And that is what gives it the light, fluffy, just airy cloud density to it that we all know and love. So why are we doing this video? Whip butter is slowly being fizzled out of the beard game. And from someone who loves whip butter, it is really tough to see. So from me talking or us talking to beard company owners, why is that the case? Whip butter is an absolute pain to make. Like I said, it's a 2 to 3 stage process. It requires just more physical work to whip the butter and things like that. So primarily, that's why you don't see whip butter nearly as much. Now, why am I sad? Why do I love whip butter? So I have a very thick, dense beard. Like you've heard me say a million times, I have to use heat to keep my beard down. Sometimes if I'm using a poured butter that's too thick, it could weigh my beard down. When I use poured butter, I use a very, very little bit, usually just like a thumbnail length or a dollop, as they say, and completely spread it around my hands and then apply it to my beard. So a lot of the times with whipped butter, it being so light, it doesn't weigh my beard down at all. It's almost like putting more oil in your beard, but it softens it a lot more than oil does. So that's why the main reason why I really love whipped butter. So we want to go ahead and show you guys a few companies that we like that still makes whipped butter. But before that, let's hear what Joe has to say about whipped.
Yeah, man. Dude, that was a beautiful eulogy of the almost impending death of whip butter. Now, I really do believe that there are going to be companies out there that stay true to the whip butter process and roll with it. But Kyle's absolutely right. That some of the companies that we know that have had whip butters and no longer do, they just say that the labor is just a little too much and they just want to focus on making a good balanced utility butter to go with their line. However, though, a lot of the points Kyle made is the reasons why I enjoy it as well. If you have seen our videos before, I am more of a poured butter guy, but I do have a soft spot in my heart and, of course, in my beard for whipped butters. I like once in a while, I do like something that is just super light, not something that I have to worry about weighing my beard down as well, especially with my beard being significantly thinner than Kyle's. So the last thing I want to do is put something in there that's always going to feel like it's weighing it down. The nourishment aspect you get from a whipped butter, though, is what is key to having a good whipped butter. Now, there are some companies that make a whipped butter that, it's completely like holding air. And some do make a heavier whipped butter that has some density to it. Those are normally ones that I try to stay away from. I feel like if you want to have a dense butter, then just go ahead and make a poured butter. If you want something that's going to be light, easy to put in, going to melt down with literally 2 palm swipes, then go ahead and go the whipped way. And then again, it's however you like putting butter into your beard. Like Kyle, he just likes that easy process, something to make it feel light, and you get nothing but nourishment for your beard hair. So that is definitely, my point of view when it comes to whipped butter. I definitely don't mind them at all. I hate to see that they are being a little bit phased out, because they definitely have their place within the bearded community, and just the beard product line in general.
Yep. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and dive into it. We just want to show you guys a few companies who make a whipped butter that we love. So the first one that we have here is Damn Yankee Beard Co. And that is one of their newer specialty tins and scents that we've showed you guys in a review not long ago. Their whipped butter is very unique. It is absolutely, and Joe nailed it in the description in the review a couple weeks ago. It's definitely in the whipped family, but it's almost like a hybrid. It's a little dense getting out of the jar. I know it's kind of hard to see with the light. It's a little dense getting it out of the jar, but man, when you get it in your palms, it melts down almost instantly, provides almost no styling or weighs your beard down, because it is a whipped butter, but it is a fantastic product. It's going to make your beard so nice and soft.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we covered that in the review. Now, I will say, just in case people who were paying attention to my spiel on whipped butter, normally that kind of whipped butter is not the kind that I would go for. However, though, I can't argue with the results of what my beard was the next morning. The results are great. However, though, for me, it's like the process of putting it in. For some reason, when I have a whipped butter that's dense, I just don't like working it into my beard for some reason like that. I either want one or the other. But
gotcha. Nothing wrong with that. All right. So our next one is a company who, what I'm going to show off is a collab of ours. This is Beards Dignified, one of our favorite companies. Owner's name is Grant, and Dignified Cousins is the scent that I have here. This one's a little unique because if you purchase the butter with our collab purposely, there is a poured, and then there is a whipped on the other side, because Joe's favorite is poured. My favorite is whipped. Now, this one even takes it to the next level. The Beards Dignified's whipped getting out of the jar is almost like getting a pour out. Almost. It's very dense, and it does take a little bit more work to get it to melt down in your hands. But once it does, it's very, very light and very soft. So, it's interesting. This Beards Dignified's whipped is pretty unique, but I tell you, like I said, like Joe said, the results are all that matters, and it really does wonders for my beard.
Yep. All right. And then the last one that we're cover is the whipped butter from the Bearded Mac. And as you can see, I have that in probably my all-time favorite scent, the Roaring 20s, which is their take on a barbershop. Now, this is the kind of whipped butter that I'm talking about that I like. This is going to be something that is super light, super airy, and that's what it looks like there. That's what I think a whipped butter is intended to do. Now, if you know Bearded Mac, he offers a poured and a whipped, so you actually have the choice to make on whichever one that you prefer. I actually like that, and I give Chris, who's the owner of Bearded Mac, a crap ton of credit, because that is a lot of work that I'm sure he's doing to make both different kinds of butter. But yeah, Bearded Mac is a good one, especially if you want something that is on that truly light, airy side of a whipped butter.
Yep, yeah. Bearded Mac's whipped butter is like a pillow, nice and soft. So if that's the kind of whip you're into, you would definitely love the Bearded Mac. So, all right, guys, that's our spin on whipped butter. That is how we feel about it. Here's a few companies that we recommend for you. We'll go ahead, if you're interested, and we'll throw some affiliate discount codes below if you want to go ahead and check those out for yourselves. But Joe, any last words on whipped butter?
No, I'm just curious to see what the people think. We've done poured versus whipped butter videos before, but this one we just wanted to give a true highlight on a whipped butter. So I'm curious to see what you guys have to think or say about a whipped butter. Drop a comment below, and of course, please make sure you not only hit that subscribe button, but let people know about our channel. We want to make sure that we're hitting as many beards as possible.
Yep, and I almost forgot. I meant to say in the beginning before I turned it over to you. A lot of people think whip butter is best overnight. I love wearing whip butter during the day because it helps keep my beard down because it keeps it really soft. So if you haven't tried that, there's a little tip for you. All right, guys, if you've made it to this far in the video, thank you so much. That is all the time that we have for you today. As always, keep it growing.
And we'll talk to you at the next one. Cousins out.